and knocked on the door. And then they let it in, they sat down, they laughed, and they talked, and they cried together. They cried together. Tears shed. Something that they never did. This is what Dr. Morgan said. He said that was confession. Forgiveness. So when the woman got home, she was used to tucking the child in at night. She pulled the covers back, checking on him. Guess what? The boy had feet. Closed feet like that. She pulled the cover back, the boy had feet. She was holding resentment all those years. Not only did it affect her, it affected the child when the child was in her womb.
Yes, yes, yes.
James 5 verse 16 said the effectual. Number one, the effectual means it's effective. The effectual, number two, means that it's powerful. The effectual, fervent, literally means to be stretched out. It's suggesting actually stretching out toward the finish line with the final burst of energy. I know what it's like when you start talking about that. You see, when you're going toward the finish line, you want to have what you call kick. With the kick, you got to have momentum. When you got momentum, you know how to position your body. It's like you're leaning forward like you're going to fall. But when you're running, and the more you lean, the more momentum you got more speed. But you're stretching out. You're almost there. So you're not looking at anybody around you. Now the race is no longer about what's happening to your body.
Yes.
But what's going on in your head. But what is in your heart. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7 says, the Lord seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh at the heart. James 5:16 from the Amplified Bible. Listen to what it says. The earnest, heartfelt, continued prayer of a righteous man make tremendous power available. Which means it's dynamic and working. It's not the length or how long your prayers are, but the depth that makes them effective. You can't say that again. It's not your length. You got to pray long prayers. Remember talking about Pharisees? They pray to be heard. It ain't about that. It's about the depth of your prayer that makes them effective. 3 fervent prayers, and I'm almost done. 3 fervent prayers. Luke 18 verse 13 says, and the publican, standing afore all, will not lift up so much his eyes to heaven, but hit himself on the chest, saying, God, be merciful unto me, a sinner. He didn't have no long drawn out prayer. Just be merciful unto me, a sinner. The second fervent prayer, Matthew 14 verse 30. But when Peter saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid and beginning to see. He cried, Lord, save me. Number 3, the third fervent prayer. Genesis 32:26. And he, the man said, let me go. For the day breaketh. And he, Jacob, said, I will not let you go except you bless me. Amen. It is not prayers that come from your head, but prayers that come from your heart that are affected. Stop trying to pray like everybody else. Stop trying to be like everybody else. Get real with God. Do you? Do you? Now I'll share it with you. When I first got saved, we went to the church down in Casey, Mississippi. On my way to church, I had the radio on, the broadcast, Hickory Hill. The main focus was to see how them deacons were going to pray that Sunday morning, because I was a deacon then. So when I got to church, after hearing what they prayed, when I got to church, guess what? I prayed like they prayed, because I thought that was the way to pray. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Same thing, son. I preach like other folk. No. You got to do you.
That's it.
When you pray. Your issues ain't like other folk issues. Your stuff ain't like other folks' stuff.
Yes.
Say it again.
Yes.
It's not the prayers that come from your head, but the prayers that come from your heart that are effective. Verse 16, James 5, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man, talking about you, availeth much. All of us are righteous as we stand before God. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, 21 says, for he hath made him to be sin for us. For us. Us who knew no sin. He made him sin for us. Who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him. In Jesus Christ, we are clothed in this righteousness. However, 1 John 3:7, New King James Version, the Bible says, literature, let no one deceive you. He who practices righteousness is righteous, just as he is right. So the emphasis is on doing righteousness. What is righteousness? Listen, righteousness is simply doing what's right. It's simply doing the right thing. So the emphasis is not on doing righteous, not just being righteous. So the emphasis is on doing righteous, not just being righteous. Righteous people should practice what they preach. Righteousness. Righteous people are supposed to be men and women, oh my God, of integrity. Can I say it again?
Yeah.
Righteous people are supposed to be men and women of integrity. So we are to approach God with integrity.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Which means we are doers of the word and not just hearers. James 1:22. We are striving to run the Christian race in obedience to God, in obedience to Christ. Our prayers take on powerful and persuasive energy with God. Yes. 1 John 3:22 says, and whatsoever we ask, we receive of him because we keep his commandments and do those things which are pleasing in his sight. James 5:16. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth means to be of force, to be effective, capable of producing much results. Come on, Chris. Yes. Prayer can heal.
Yes, sir. Yes, it can.
A world of hate. When we approach God with integrity. When we're doing what is right, when we're praying in humility, with the spirit of interjected fervor, God will answer our prayer. When we pray, we are talking to God who is not limited by time or space or anything he has created. He is therefore a God who answers our prayers with immensity. Effective prayer can make a difference in a world filled with hurting people. Can I say it again? Yes. Some of us hurt. Some of y'all hurt. Yes. But listen to the effective prayer can make a difference in a world filled with hurting people. God help us to reach up to you with effective, fervent prayers. And then to be by your hands extended in reaching out to people in need. Prayers directed toward God and man. I'm going to give God a hand clap of praise.